Hey everyone, it's Dottie. It is Monday, July 18th, 2011. And this is my 170 some video vlog for the YouTube Orbit. And I just want to start by saying, first of all, I'm a female and I apologize now if I happen to go all over the board in this vlog. I have a lot kind of going on in my head right now, and I just need to kind of talk things out, and perhaps it'll help me. I also want to say that this is my channel, so really I shouldn't have to apologize for anything, but it is what it is, and that's the way I am. So today is Monday. Today the first thing I did today was went to the doctor. I had a doctor appointment at 9:30 to talk about female issues. So guys, tune out, tune in. I really don't care, because guess what? I'm a female and these things are a part of life. So, but I will say this, if you're watching me and listening to me and you happen to know me in real life, like you see me face to face in person, or even those that don't, I just want to make it clear that I don't want or need to be teased or harassed or anything like that based on anything I might say, because I am entitled to my opinions or my thoughts. These are my thoughts. This is my channel, and this is where I'm putting it, because all along this has helped me out pretty much. And from what I understand, some of my talks have helped others. So it's a win-win. Heavy sigh. I hope this video doesn't turn out to be 30 minutes, because then nobody will watch it. But then again, yeah, doesn't matter, right? What am I rambling for? Okay, so went to the doctor to talk about some female stuff and to talk about the possibility of working a few days a month from home because of the way Mother Nature treats me. I'm having a hard time with some of the physical parts of it and the emotional parts of it, and it just makes sitting in an office environment very difficult. So I went to the doctor to talk about that, had some FMLA forms filled out, and I mean, what I'm going through can be normal for a girl, and I'm just having a tough time dealing with it, especially the emotional aspect of it, because really it is messing with me. A week ahead of time, I can just feel things coming on, not only physically, like my boobs start to hurt really bad, and I am talking, I have to wear a bra all the time or they will like feel like they're dragging on the ground. They're so heavy and hurtful. And I'll get a headache this big, like, I don't know if it's a true migraine, but that's kind of what they called it, like a cycle whatever type migraine, where I feel like I'm unable to get out of bed in the morning. I feel kind of nauseated. I feel it's just horrid. And then when the following week, when things actually start, the first few days are fine, but then I'm feeling like a stuck pig, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But it affects me emotionally in that I feel like I could cry at the drop of a hat. I feel like emotional. So anyway, and from talking to my doctor today, it could be as a result of all the weight loss, and my body hormonally is kind of going back in time to almost pre-pregnancy, or it could be the fact that I am 40 years old and maybe I'm starting to hit a premenopausal. It could be a combination of both, and it's really hard to tell. I've started to keep a log so I can kind of keep track of the heavy flow days, of the mood swings, of the whatever. I feel bad because I can feel these moods, and lately, with my increased confidence as a result of weight loss, I've spurted off at the mouth and probably pissed off a person or two. But is that good or bad? I don't know. I've never been one to be so confident and actually speak my mind. So in a way, it's been good because I'm finally talking about what's on my mind, and not keeping it buried and not letting me regain weight as a result or have my blood pressure problems as a result. Speaking of blood pressure, my blood pressure this morning at my appointment was 116/70. 116/70. That is freaking awesome. I have been unmedicated since October or November of 2010. So thumbs up for that, because I am doing well. That tells me I'm doing well because I've had some stress at work. It's been very busy, and it just proves that I am handling it well because I don't need to be on that medicine still, and I'm still maintaining a good blood pressure. So I'm happy about that. That being said, what all has been going on with me? Well, we had graduation party, my daughter graduating high school, all the emotions that go with that as a result of one of your babies kind of growing up and stuff like that. And I'm doing pretty well with that. It took some real soul searching and prayer, getting back to that, but it's helped. And I'm accepting things, that this is life, this is the way it's supposed to be. I can be proud of the fact that she is to this point ready to move on, go to college and things like that, and I am proud of that. Let's see, what else? Oh, aside from the graduation party, which did go well. I don't know if you saw that video or not. I didn't video all of it, but I was very happy with the outcome. Then this past weekend, we had this huge yard sale in my yard. It was almost like a flea market. Very busy, very hot. It was very hot and humid. It was 90 plus, and when you mix that with Mother Nature of the other variety, let me just say, I was kind of, ugh. Again, not pleasant at times. And things, someone that was supposed to be here for their stuff, to put their stuff out, came in on Thursday night and got angry and decided to leave, and they weren't going to do it. But yet, here all this stuff sat in our garage ready to go out. So, being the kind people that my husband and I are, we put all their stuff out, and mostly my husband did, because I was feeling, ugh. So kudos to him, because he's awesome like that. And anyway, we went through this whole sale. I worked more than I intended to, because I was really hoping to get some rest in this weekend, because the previous weekend of the graduation. Well, that didn't happen. I kind of worked a lot, and anyway. So then, of course, I'm not getting a lot of this normal cardio type exercise, and then I watch certain videos or I see certain Facebook updates, and then because of this whole hormonal thing, I start to feel bad for my own situation, I start to feel this jealousy thing again, or I start to feel this, I can't even explain what it is. It's just like almost even bits of anger, because it's just like, you know what? I know you're trying to be helpful. I know you're trying to share this perfect story and blah, 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 but guess what? We're not all there. And I have to keep telling myself over and over and over and over again that it's okay, that I'm not like that. But at the same time, it just pisses me off that this mood of mine gets this way, that this is really pissing me off, really pisses me off that I get so emotional about some of this stuff, because I was never really like that, I don't think. But maybe my huge weight had something to do with that, you know. Before, I didn't have the energy or anything to say what was on my mind, to get out and move, to whatever, you know. And now that I've lost all this weight, I've gotten some confidence. I've gotten, you know, little things are taking me off. And I really can't explain if it's the hormones or if it's the fact that I have more energy and that I'm just getting pissed because I can't do what I think I should be able to do, or this stupid Mother Nature is holding me back because emotionally and physically and whatever. I don't even know if I'm coming across the way I want to come across. Anyway, so the other thing that is wearing on me is some friends are going through a difficult time with a teenager. And a lot of people go through difficult times with teenagers where the teenager maybe gets mixed up with the wrong crowd, and they have these influences that say, oh, well, you should just leave your house. Your parents are stupid. They drink all the time, and they feed these kids with this stupid nonsense. And then the next thing you know, perhaps Protective Services gets involved because of something they spurted off. Well, this has really, really, really gotten to me, because these friends that are, I've known them for a long time, but my husband's known them even longer, and the stuff that is being said and stuff is just, it's just not true. And this teenager just has some negative influences, and they need to be rescued from that. And anyway, the things that I'm seeing these parents go through. Okay, this is tough. Is making me think back to when I was in 8th grade, going into 9th grade, when I wanted to live with my mom so bad because my dad, I'm sorry, I'm sitting on a ball here, because my dad called me Porky a lot, and he told me to stop acting like your mother and grow up. And he told me he had a drug problem, and he just said things that he shouldn't have said. But all of this that's going on is making me think back to that time, and making me wonder how bad my dad might have hurt from that, from the fact that I turned him in so that I could live with my mom. How bad did I make my dad feel? Right or wrong, you know? I'm a parent now, and so these things that come up, I just seem to think about, you know, what I did as a teenager, and I wasn't a bad teenager. I was too afraid to do anything naughty. But the one thing I did was turn him in for his abuse. And I just don't know, did he have any hurt feelings? I don't know, because he doesn't talk about it. I think maybe he got angry because at that time he was under the influence, right? And I did it. I did it so I could live with my mom. I did it to get out of that atmosphere. And I know that I did it to protect myself. But at the same time, I went into another atmosphere that was almost not abusive emotionally, but abusive, not really abusive. I don't even know what I want to say. I picked up a lot of the bad habits that caused me to start gaining weight. Anyway, this whole thing that's going on with some friends of ours is making me think back to some very difficult times. And almost making me, well, obviously, look at me, I'm sorry. Making me feel bad at times for what I did. But I'm constantly fighting with myself because I did that to rescue myself from that, and I can see that now, but back then, what did I do that for? I did that because I wanted to live with my mom, and my dad wouldn't let me. I was a child of divorce. My dad didn't want to do anything to help my mom out. It was so ugly. And that was in 8th grade when I finally found some nerve from somewhere, because I'll tell you what, I didn't have it before that. I was always afraid. I guess I wanted to live with my mom that bad. And I think it was through the process of some family counseling, because of things that my brother was doing and getting charges brought up, and that was about when I thought I wanted to go into like crisis counseling for teenagers, because of the things that my brother was dealing with, that I was dealing with. I still kind of think I missed that calling, even though I'm crying like a baby when I talk about it. I sometimes wonder if I would be really good at it. Because I just have this knowledge and experience, and I think that the greatest counselors almost can be the ones that have been through it, not just looking at a book, college smart, but actually lived through something traumatic like that. And I think that's what makes me a good mentor for the weight loss and a lot of the emotion that comes from that, because I've been through it. I've lived through some tough times. And I'm not here to compare any stories, because that's not what I'm about. Everybody has something they've gone through, and to them it was very tough, and it is tough. But what do I want to say? This is just a tough time right now with what they're going through. When I talk to them, I can see the anguish in his face, the dad's face. And I have cried so many times over the last couple weeks for stuff that they're going through. Nobody wants to be told that you're a bad parent, and that, you know, nobody wants to be told that. And it's not true, and I keep telling them that, and it's just this negative influence that this teenager is getting from other sources, and she just needs to be saved from that. So I've been praying for that. All the while trying to get a handle on my own emotions as a result of Mother Nature. Thank you. I'm just here to say too that if you're going through a divorce, or if you have been, maybe you're a young person, it's hard for you as a teenager to see your parents for the wonderful people that they are, maybe. And I'm not saying that all parents are perfect, because we all know that's not the case. We all know that there's parents out there that have kids simply to get assistance from the government. I believe that because I see that I had seen that with my own brother. But a lot of the parents have kids because they're a joy to have, and they're a gift, and they know they're a gift, and they treat them with everything that they have to be a good parent. And the things that they say to you or make you do are because they want to protect you. At least that's what it's supposed to be. But if you're going through a divorce, I want you to think about the kids. The divorce, it's about the kids. I mean, yes, everybody deserves happiness, and if your marriage is not happy and you need happiness, you need to find your happiness, that is fine and great. You know, I mean, I am a firm believer of family, but I am also a believer that everyone needs to find their happiness, and if you're not happy, then you work at finding it, and if divorce is what makes you happy, then so be it. But don't make it an ugly divorce for the kids that are there. If there's kids involved, don't make it ugly for them. Put them first. Both parties need to put them first. Don't use the kids as pawns. Don't use them to, you know, get this or get that. It happens so much where the kids are used as some sort of leverage to get something. And I guess that just bothers me. You know, I'm not saying that there's not a deadbeat dad or a loser mom. I don't know if there's a name for moms that aren't there, you know. That happens. I know it happens. And even if there's a divorce, I do firmly believe that both parents need to still be involved with the funds that are necessary to raise a child. I totally believe that. But I just wish divorce could be less ugly. That's just my perfect world. Anyway, I have a lot going on. And so I apologize for crying. And I haven't even... I keep looking outside because that's where the birds are. The birds are kind of calming to me. Another gift of nature. Anyway, I could go on and on. I could seriously probably write a book about the life and times of Dottie. I could probably even make money on it. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make money on my depression. I want there to be less child abuse, both physical and mental, because mental can be just as bad as physical. Mental, emotional, verbal abuse. Verbal abuse can be very devastating on a kid, and they may not feel it as a kid, but it may affect them as an adult. They may not show you when they're a kid. You know, you think of kids as being so resilient. I was a kid when all of this was being said to me. And apparently I was not one of those resilient kids. So you just have to be aware that not all kids are resilient and bounce back, and perhaps they're just hiding it from you to save you as the parent from seeing them hurt, especially if you're going through a divorce. And you know, I can't say that that's what I was doing, but I had weaknesses. But at the same time, I lived in fear. I didn't want to say what was on my mind because I didn't want to. I feared. I don't know what I feared. I feared getting taken away from both of my parents. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't. I feared other kinds of abuse. Anyway, and by the way, I really need to write this stuff down because this video is probably really long and difficult to watch, difficult for me to do, but I had to, so anyway. Sometimes I feel real strong and sometimes I just don't. And I really have a hard time dealing with those times that I don't feel strong emotionally. Because I want to be helpful for others, and I feel that if I'm not strong emotionally, then I can't be helpful. So anyway, I gotta cut it off here because I could just sit here and cry all night with you, but I can't do that to you or me. So I'm gonna stop now and I'm gonna upload this because the other daughter of this couple that's going through some stuff is gonna spend the night here, and I want to get this done and out of the way so she doesn't have to experience me crying. I'm just truly grateful for all that I have right now. My kids and my husband and the friends that I have met through YouTube and through Facebook, who I wish more than anything I could just hug in person right now. But I thank you. You know who you are, and I thank you. And I thank you also for sitting through this, if you sat through it, and if you didn't, that's fine too. This just is what it is. I am who I am. And that's very emotional at times. So, with that, I wish you peace and love and smiles. And take care, okay?